Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be designing a lined vertical planner layout for August in my health and fitness planner. So come plan with me. And I've got some washi tapes all ready to go, as well as this blending brush and chalk ink, this brush pen, some stat stickers that I made on my computer, and the sticker books, which I'll pull from. Okay, you guys, this is going to be a quick one this week, surprisingly. It's been a while since I had a quick one. I'm going to lay down some wax paper and then get started on the design. I've decided I want to use these watermelon stickers up from the Happy Year sticker book. It's a teacher sticker book that came out like a couple of years ago. I actually have two of them, so I have enough to really do just a watermelon spread here across the page. The idea will be basically just to have a stream of watermelon slices cutting across the spread. And because they have that yellow background outline on them, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to the spread, but mainly we're going to focus in on the red and green, which you'll see as we develop the spread. So I'm into the, Gold Star quote sticker book now, just looking for some quotes to pull in that kind of go with the red and green vibe. Thought this one might be a good one to mix in. I've got Unstoppable there, as well as just living the sweet life, which I thought was appropriate. I'm gonna wait on that Unstoppable. It's just not quite right. And then I grabbed a quote that said sweet that I thought would be a good fit here for this spread as well. And as you can see, it disappears. So at the very end of the video, I end up finding it and I added on just at the last second, actually off camera. So it does make it onto the spread, but I didn't realize that it got picked back up from the back of the sticker book. So anyway, I did find another quote there. It says, keep going in green. I liked that. So then I'm going to try to find another quote that will match up writing wise. And I think that the Think Big, Start Small is both appropriate, the right fonts and feels, and then also to the right color. So I've dropped in a couple of those quotes, as you can see, and now I'm going to play around with maybe the washi tape and perhaps some colorful boxes. I'm not real sure exactly how I want this to go. Because I've got these watermelons kind of cutting across a spread, I'm going to use the top boxes for workouts and then maybe the bottom for the stat stickers so that I can just put in my food log in and around those watermelon pieces as needed. And now, just trying to find a way to add in a little bit more color here with the washi tape. I got this really nice, almost, I would say it's like a cherry red. It's definitely got more of a blue hint to it versus an orange tint. So I think that works really well with these watermelons. And then I have a green kind of striped washi that mimic a little bit the top sides of the watermelons there, the pattern on the watermelon. So it's good, adds a little bit of texture there too. Layered in a couple of spots with the washi tape, although I'm not really sold yet on their placement. It's a little bit, disconnected from the rest of the spread, so we'll figure out if that's where they're going to stay or not. I'm going to drop in those stat stickers now. It goes pretty quick. I'm just going to stick with plain black, so we will be adding some black accents in a little later, as you'll see. So I started with black colorful boxes because I know I don't really have super rich tones in this book. Most of them are pretty soft and pastel feeling. But I think it'll work if I pull in the green and maybe like the kind of coral red that is in the book. I started off with just green because that was the one I felt like had the deepest color and matched the best. But I didn't really like it just being all green in the end. I really wanted to have more of that color spread around the entire spread. So then I pulled back on that, found the closest red I could find in that book, which again is like more like a almost orange coral color. But I think it works well enough. There's just not too much of it, so it blends well. And then I decided I wanted to add in the black too and just kind of make it almost a 3-color theme. I mean, it's mainly 2 colors with the red and the green and then black, but we'll also be adding in a bit of that yellow as a background. So it's a little bit more colorful than I would have gone with, but I feel like that is what I needed to do in order to really achieve the color scheme and fit the styling that I'd wanted to in the beginning. So I found something I was happy with those colorful boxes, kind of alternating the colors there at the top and some different sizes. And I'll use those again to track my workouts. So that said, let's go ahead and move forward with the yellow blending here on the background of those watermelons. And again, I'm just using a blending brush and some chalk ink to make that happen. I recently picked up a set of different blending brushes versus having just one set that I would clean regularly, and I like that so much better. So much less time and effort. I can just pick it up when I want to do a color that's yellow. I have the yellow brush, and so I see now why everybody had so many extra brushes. It really does save a lot of time. And here's where I decided to make some changes to where that washi was placed. Not really in love with how it was before, so I think maybe putting it on the sides will help a little bit. We'll see where it goes from there. Let's go ahead and get those stat stickers dropped in first, since I know exactly where those are going to go. I think the next thing I want to drop in is this quote. Just get that placement all set up so I can work the watermelon slices around it. And just trying to get the placement just right so it doesn't hinder me putting in my stats at all. So I'm going to put it back on the wax paper and then also figure out where it touches those black lines so that I can clean it up a little bit before I lay it down. And while that dries, we'll go ahead and move in the other washi tape there in the sidebar, along with the quote. I feel like I need a little more yellow, so try to brush in a little bit of extra yellow. I'm going to drop in that other quote and maybe place in the washi tape as well. This one overlaps a little bit of that black line too, so I'll go ahead and white out that so you don't see it from behind the washi tape. And again, while that dries, I'll start moving in the rest of the stickers. And I just trimmed off that washi so I can start really maneuvering in the rest of the watermelon slices. Just want to see if any of these need to touch another black line, but since I didn't really see a need for them to do so, I went ahead and just dropped them in. And I want to use up this other cluster here of washi tape, so I'm going to put it at the bottom. And I think I'll just mirror that on the top right so that it looks somewhat symmetrical all the way around, giving a little bit more color to the spread, which I feel like it needed in the end. And then we'll drop in the rest of these watermelons. Again, kind of figuring out what might be touching those lines that are a little bit dark and whiting out behind them. And that looks good. Do a little bit of alternating of the position. Add in a bit more washi up here at the top, like I mentioned. And that looks good, I think. Just straighten some things out. And finally add in these watermelon seeds to kind of tie it all together using my Fudenosuke brush tip pen in the hard tip. I'm trying to stick with quantities of either 3 or 5 for the most part. Some get a little bit overwhelmed with seeds, and some are, I don't know, maybe a little too much or a little too clustered. It's a balancing act. I think in the end it looked cute, but I don't know. I struggle a little bit with getting the right balance on textures like these when I'm hand drawing them in. Because I feel like we needed a little bit more, I added some to the boxes here at the top, kind of alternating the positioning of the brush tip pen so that I can get some variation on the size and the orientation of those seeds. And Saturday was feeling a little bit sparse since that's a day I don't normally work out, so I went into the Gold Star quotes again and found a relax sticker that I think will work well for that. I also really like this Strong Today sticker that's pretty much the same red as the washi, so I want to pull that in. I'll drop it into the sidebar, I think. Pretty much once I'm done with all of that, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!